Hello, people! And today's video is going to be something a little bit more technical than brute force speeding a mission. I decided that I'd do a little bit more of an explanatory video because it seems to me that more people that have questions or want to know stuff like this are more new to the game than people at my level would need something to beat, say, hell mode like I have. Um, So, in that prospect, I would like to make a video on both perks and how to start off as a beginner. Um, to put it bluntly, to begin off, which if you guys would like to see some kind of like a little series where I start from level 1, go through a bunch of missions, and try and teach throughout my grind of what you should upgrade and what you should focus on, rather than me just telling you straight up, and I can show you all of the clips of me grinding out missions, grinding out raids, and getting my way up. If you'd be interested in seeing that, go right ahead and let me know. But to get to the point of the video, which is the perks, I'll start off just by going through common to uncommon, and so on until mythical. Um, to begin off, we'll go to the menu here, and to begin, we're gonna go with I think we can. It's all in order except for repulsion for no reason, and yeah, it's kind of out of whack. But we'll go with. I wonder if combine will help. Combine does help. Okay, so we'll start with supplier, which is 10% more gas. Um, Looking at the common little explanation, it just says 10% more gas. There's nothing else with it, and much like all the other common ones, these aren't necessarily good perks, and some of them can even be a detriment. But Supplier gives you 10% more gas. It just gives you extra gas in your tank, allowing you to boost or hook for longer. Hasten. This is actually a very good perk for starting off if you're having trouble getting away from Titans when you're refilling. It allows you to refill 50% faster and allows you to get back in the fight. It's a big help for when you are in trying to get 3 stars, because refilling takes up a lot of time when you're trying to get fast. So if you're low level and trying to get 3 stars to get the max reward, I would definitely say run this if you don't have anything better. Auto grapple. You will only need this if you are having a massive trouble with the gear, if it's too fast for you, or you think that you need to be able to hook better without having to get exactly on the marker. This helps with hooking around forest with the trees, because some of the hitboxes are a little bit weird, but I don't think that this is a necessary perk if needed at all. But it's a good help sometimes if you're having trouble learning the gear, or you're having trouble getting used to it. Swift blades, 1.3 times more attack speed. Yeah, this is basically useless, in my opinion, unless you are absolutely trying to tear through a horde at the exact all at the same time, in which case there's even a better perk for it anyways. If you get this one, it's not a bad perk. I wouldn't say don't equip it, but there's definitely better options. At common level, just saying. Air Swapper allows you to refill blades midair. This is something that's very helpful for people that have high durability, so they don't get rid of their blades as quick. So I would say, if you have this one, I would definitely run this one as one of the 2 perk slots you have if you don't have the top 3. Because this and Hasten allow you to go much faster and trying to get those 3 stars. Lightweight. Lightweight is useless in my opinion. It only gives you more speed while you're running, so that only helps you if you're either out of gas or trying to run somewhere, which I don't know why you would run anywhere. So I wouldn't really want it, but that's my opinion. And then I have bulk build, which gives you 50% more health, or 50 more health flat out. This is only helpful in raids, and if you're having a common perk and you're doing raids, you're doing something wrong. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't use this ever. It's not very useful. Parkour beginner, same thing as the last one. It's just a few flips. You don't really need to use the flips ever, as long as you're mobile and agile enough with the gear. But if you like flipping around, hey, I'm not gonna judge you for running this. And there's better perks for it anyways, like this one down here. And then to get to the very last one, which has to be all the way down here for literally no reason, is Propulsion. Propulsion gives you 15% more effective boosts, and I'm pretty sure this just makes you boost faster, or it saves the gas. I don't exactly know because I have never run it, but to be fair, it's not really that useful. But as a standalone perk, it could be useful if you don't have any other better options. Now going down to the uncommon list, we have 8 perks. We'll start off with Mule since it's the top one. You hold an extra set of blades and 25% extra bullets. This can help you if you're having trouble doing missions fast, but I wouldn't take up another slot for it if you have all of the uncommon perks. It's a good one, no doubt, but I have other preferences. It's definitely a good perk though, and I would definitely say you could run it. It's very viable. And we have Parkour Intermediate, which gives you 2 extra flips in the air and then reduces the gas flip usage. Again, just like Bark Beginner up here, it's pretty useless in my opinion. But I mean, to each their own to that perspective. And then Refined Blades, you get 1.1 times more damage when slashing. This is a good perk solely because it allows you to deal with hard mode and extreme one notch before your upgrade. And I would use this all the time trying to just get the better rewards, and it does definitely help. I think that it's a very good perk for being an uncommon to give you literally just more damage. So I definitely say that's up there in the perk levels list. You should definitely run that if you get that one as one of your starter perks. We have Acrobat. Um, I'm pretty sure this just flips you into the air really high when you run. I don't think I've ever used it, but that should say enough. I have never really used it, and I don't think it's necessary to use. I think I've used it maybe once and then never used it again. Hoarder gives you 15% more gas, which just like up here with Supplier, gives you much more gas to work with. You don't have to refill as often, but that's about it. And then you have up here, Rapid Fast Piston. This one I would always run until I got to the rare version of this perk, which allows you to grapple the objects faster. And what that means is when you're hooking around, say you're hooking around the trees, you have to wait a certain bit after unhooking your hook to hook again. With this perk, it allows you to unhook much faster and then hook right back as fast, really fast. And it's very, very good for momentum and keeping your gas usage to a smaller amount, I would say, but allows you to go much faster. If this is one of the uncommon perks you get, absolutely run this one. It changes the way you use your gear a lot, and it is very, very helpful. Auto reload automatically reload your blades when they break. Um, that's only good if you're having problems with reloading your blades on the ground, which isn't in itself an issue. So if you don't have an issue with this specific problem, then it doesn't need to be solved. You don't need to run it. Willpower, maintain consistent speed while injured. This is okay for raid mode because when you're injured or below 50% health, it doesn't make you limp, which like decreases your movement speed by 75 some percent. But there's no really scenario where you should be standing still, especially if you're using an uncommon perk. So I would just say this one is not very good in general. And then that will be the last uncommon one. Going on to the rare perks, there are 9 of them, I believe. And we'll go from the start, which is Insta Piston, instantly grapple any object. This is one of my must-have perks because it changes the way like the Rapid Piston from beforehand, it changes the way that you use your gear drastically. Because as soon as you're able to unhook, you can hook right again, and you can chain massive boosts off of this with your gear. As you guys could have seen in one of my previous videos, I don't know which one it was, but I think I showed a clip of me hooking straight through while just spamming Q and E, and that's one of my favorite ways to mobilize myself in this game. If you can just spam Q and E at one direction, it propels you straight to where you're going with absolutely zero effort other than just aiming your mouse and spamming Q and E. It's awesome, and I love this perk. I will always run it if I don't have basics pro, but you I would say definitely this is one of the best perks, at least in rare. Stacker gives you 25% more gas, just a better propulsion and a better hoarder. That's about it. If you like having gas, you like boosting a lot and waste a lot of gas, go right ahead, go for it. But in itself, it's not too big of a perk. Avenger, when a player is killed near you within 200 meters, gain a 10% damage boost, stacks to 30%. Um, I've never used this perk. It is never needed. It's because the only reason you would need it is if you're running something like Nightmare or Hell mode and your teammates die, and even then the perk wouldn't work. I think this perk is garbage. You shouldn't want your friends to die so you can gain a damage boost. That doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather keep them alive to begin with, but I think this perk is absolute garbage. Don't ever run it. Even if you get it as one of your first rares, just don't. It's not good in my opinion at all. Bloodthirsty. 10 health after every Titan kill. This is only useful in raid because you will never take damage unless you get bitten and saved in missions. But if that suits your fancy and you lose health and you like killing Titans and you're the Titan go-getter in your little raid group, go for it. But I would prefer this one, which is Iron Body, which gives you 200 extra health. This is a massive amount of health, and it's 100% worth it to run it while you're in raid mode if you have no better perk, such as Basics Pro or something like that, where it gives you this perk automatically. This gives you 200 extra health, which is 3 times the amount of health that you normally have. And it is very, very, very useful for not dying if using blades or using AP, or even using hybrid if you want to say that. But 100%, this is an absolutely massive perk for raids. It doesn't really have a use in missions. You can use it in missions. I don't see why you would, because Titans kill you the same amount anyways, which is 25% at a time. So no matter how much health you have, you'll die the same amount anyway, just as quick. But I would say this is definitely run this perk for raid if you have no other better option. Negotiating skill. This is 15% discount on all items in the shop. I don't see why you can't just run this perk whenever you're in buying things, and then take it off when you're going into a mission. I think that's just a free 15% off discount. Run it if you're trying to buy something, and then don't run it when you're doing anything else, and that works. So this is one of the most busted perks in the game, if you can say it like that. But hey, if it's broken, I ain't gonna fix it. What are you gonna do? Next one up, we have Victor, which is 35% chance of getting 5% gas per kill. If you, I honestly, I would just prefer running Stacker because it just gives you straight up 25% more gas, whereas you have to actually kill Titans with this to get your gas. It makes no sense why you wouldn't run just the extra 25% than having to risk a chance of getting 5%. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. You can run it, no doubt, but I don't think it's needed. I don't think it's necessary at all. Secret Maneuver, 33% chance for a Titan not aggro on you for 3 seconds. Half the time this perk is broken, and half the time it actually works. The Titans just don't ever aggro onto you to begin with, which is a bug with Basics Pro, I believe, as well as having this up perk. So run this at your own risk. It might ruin your game, and it might just give you a bunch of Titans that don't aggro onto you, but or ever really. And the 3 seconds part doesn't actually seem to matter to the Titans at this point. But I mean, if you want to try running this perk, I don't have any problem with it. I can't really rank it anywhere, but you get the point. This is an okay perk. Run it if you want. And then finally, gas suppression. Reduces gas consumption by 10%. Um, I'm 90% sure that just straight up having 25% more gas is better when you can just reduce usage by 10%. That's like you're getting 25% more gas, which is 125%, but you reduce the gas consumption by 10, which makes it 110. The math doesn't add up to me, or unless I'm misunderstanding something, but if you're ever going to run this perk, just run Stacker. That just makes sense to me. I don't know if that makes no sense to anybody else, but hopefully that changes your mind, I guess, about what that is. But you get the point. And then that leads us on to epic perks. Epic perks is when kind of gets good, kind of not really. There are a couple very good perks and a couple very bad perks, but to start off, I guess we'll go with Parkour Master, since it's the first one that I have, I'm pretty sure. And Parkour Master is a 4 extra flips, and your flip speed is 25% faster. Like the previous Parkour perks, I don't see it. I've never used it. You can if you want, you really can, but that's personal preference. I don't see this as ever necessary, nor is it ever needed. But if you want to, go right ahead. You like flipping around and you think it's cool, go for it. I have no problem with that, but I don't think it's a very good perk to begin with. And then next up, we're going to go with Lethality. Lethality is probably the best epic perk that there is, because it gives you a 50% chance to do 4.5 times more damage on a hit. If you are playing raids and you're having blades, or I think that I don't know if it works with Thunder Spears. I doubt it does. But if you're using blades and you are in a raid, run this perk and you will do so much damage on a single hit when you're moving fast. You can I'm pretty sure that with regular blades and the fully upgraded to without prestiging, you can blind Aaron in one single shot. The attack titan, I should say. I can say Aaron because that would be a little bit immersive rated, but 50% chance to do 4.5 times more damage. That is unbelievably good and does unbelievable amounts of damage. So definitely run this if it's one of the perks you have and you don't have any other options that are above this. But lethality, high tier perk. It's awesome. Next up, we have Technician, which gives you a 25% chance of gaining 10% gas per. It's the same as Victor, but a little more risky, I guess, for extra gas. The chance itself kind of just cuts off the gas to begin with, so I don't think this perk is very good at all. You're just getting kills anyway. You don't really necessarily need the gas. You'll probably run out of blades before you run out of gas. Anyway, as long as you have the gas upgrades. So that's really up to you. I don't think it's a very good perk. I'll run it. Hobbyist, chance to gain a family's permission. This is okay if you have a bad family and you really want to unroll it. It doesn't give you a family spin that often, and it's only a chance, and it's per mission, and you have to win the mission. You can run it if you need the family spins, but they're better perks than it at the higher tier. But if you have it and you want to run it for the family spins, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. It's not like it's bad. It'll help. Basics Master. Basics Master is one of 3 basics blanks. It is the worst, obviously, as it's epic, but it gives you every single common perk, which would give you 10 HP, or not, sorry, it would give you 1.3 more attack speed, allows you to refill your blades in the midair, gives you 50% health, gives you more speed on the ground. I don't see why you need to use that. Gives you auto grapple, which allows you to hook around an item and it'll hook to it. 10% more gas, where you can refill faster, and your boosting is much more faster. And you have a couple flips if you like those. This is the second best perk behind lethality. I still think lethality is better than all of the solo perks, the solo common perks combined. But again, it all depends on if you prefer doing damage. I think personally in missions, Basics Master is better than lethality, but in raids, lethality is much better than Basics Master. Thunder Chain gives you 2 extra kills with Thunder Spear. You can only obtain it once you've prestiged. Um, it's okay. It's not. It just gives you 2 extra kills if you can get all of those at once. I'm pretty sure the base amount of kills is 5, and if you're somehow killing 7 Titans at once, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have enough upgrades to the point where you actually wouldn't need the Thunder Spears to begin with. But if you're having trouble killing with Thunder Spears and you need help with it, run this. It helps with raid. It's not necessary for any missions except for maybe abnormal. But yeah, it's a okay perk. Ymir's Blood, Titans have significantly slower reactions when aggroed onto you. This is a good solo perk. I would say it's great, seeing as there's a solo perk on it, but if you have this perk on, Titans move slower and they'll turn slower, which is okay if you're running blades, but that's the only real reason they would need that. It doesn't work in raids, doesn't work in any of the higher mount modes, and half the time I'm pretty sure it breaks anyways, so this is a perk you can run if you want to chance that. I wouldn't say it's a necessary perk, nor what I run it personally. but you can. It's an okay perk. It's nothing special. And you have solo, which gives, if you were the last person alive, get a 10% boost on all stats. I don't think this actually works if you're in a mission by yourself, and if it does, it's still not that good. If you are the last person alive in a multiplayer mission, the mission's probably about to end anyway, and if it's solo and raids, you're gonna die. I hate to say it, unless you can solo the entire thing by yourself, which will take years if you're using just a singular epic perk. So good luck with using that, I'll be honest. I wouldn't use it. I don't think it's a very good perk. I think it's almost useless in the way, but if you can do that 10% boost really bad, go for it. I'm not gonna blame you. And then lastly, we have Healer, which gives you a 20% chance of giving you 50% health of your health. Alright, 50% of your health after a Titan kill. Um, this is okay in raid. If you're getting damage all the time and then you want to go out and kill some Titans to get your health back, you can. It's an okay perk, but it has no use in missions. It's very niche in raids. It's an okay perk. It's not bad, but it's not really good either. So it's a very mid perk. And that leads us finally on to Legendary, which has 7 perks, I believe. Looking at the page, yes, 7 perks. So we have Basics Expert, which gives you every uncommon and common perk. If you have this legendary perk and you don't have any of the mythics, run this perk all the time. It is absolutely worth it. It gives you a bunch of benefits, like a bunch more gas, a bunch more health, well, kill, like yeah, health on kill. It gives you auto reload. You reload much faster. It's all in itself is a very good perk, and I think you should always run it as long as you have nothing else that's better than it. So it's a very high tier perk. Proficiency. It gives you an all-around stat increase by 15%. This perk is outshined by growth, which is right underneath this, which gives you a 5% increase in all stats per kill. But if you need that 15% right off the bat and you don't need an extra 15%, then go right ahead and use this. It just gives you an instant 15% boost. You don't have to worry about getting any kills. You don't have to worry about any weird things going on with the first couple Titans you kill. It just gives you a straight up 15% boost. It's okay. It's good. I like it. I wouldn't run it over growth if you have it, but if you have it by itself, run it. It's awesome. It's a good perk. It gives you a bunch of stats, more damage, more gas, everything. And then back to growth, it gives you a 5% increase in all stats per kill. It stacks up to 38%. Once you kill 6 Titans, you'll have a 30% stat boost in every single stat, except for maybe Thunder Spear amount. But even then, so it stacks. It's immensely useful for trying to get to missions that are above you. Say out normal, if you're trying to use blades, you just can't kill those first couple Titans. You can use the skill Titan Killer, which kills a couple Titans around your area, and it gives you a free instant boost with growth, instant 30% or 25%, and you can get that damage boost, and you are clear to start wreaking havoc once you have that. I'd say this is a very, very good perk and always run this. I even run this to this day in raids, but in missions, it's not too useful unless you're doing that situation that I talked about. But raids, it is absolutely, absolutely useful. If you have 3 spots, use it, 100%. Clover gives you 2%, 2 times luck at gaining new perk Titan Kill. Um, This is a good perk for grinding. Obviously, if you were grinding for perks or grinding for other things, I would definitely run Clover as well as a Master, which is right beneath it. But Clover in itself is just an item gain perk. It's not an actual gameplay perk, so it gets its own little territory as well as a Master. But these ones, I would definitely say run them if you're trying to farm, but don't run them otherwise. A Master is almost the same deal as Clover, but with Family Spins, you get a chance to chain a Family Spin every time you get a Titan kill, and you get 75 of them daily. The chances of getting them are actually quite rare. You'll have to kill a bunch of Titans to get to 75%, but you can, and it's fairly easy to just use, to just grind for a while. If you need the Family Spins, go right ahead. It's an okay perk in itself, but that's about it, really. Next up, we have Rampage, and as your HP lowers, your damage will increase. I'm pretty sure that every 2% of your health that you lose, you gain 1% of damage. So you can gain up to 50% more damage if you're at no health or at like 1% health. This is a very good perk for raids. but it's very, very risky because if you take any damage after that being that low, you will die unless you have revives. But never run this in mission. It's never, never worth it. But if you want to run it in raids, go right ahead. It's actually very easy to use. It's an off to the side perk. You won't have to remember to use it. You won't have to remember you have it. It's always there. It's free damage when you get hurt. You can definitely use it. I think it's good. One of the best perks, honestly. And then I'll use it with Thunderstruck. Thunderstruck gives you 3 extra kills with Thunder Spear and 5% more spear damage. If you're an abnormal and you're struggling to kill the Titans in one hit and you just need that little extra boost to kill the rest of the Titans, run this. This will give you that little extra boost. I don't think that this actually lets you kill Titans in one shot in abnormal unless you have, say, growth, which gives you 30%. But Thunderstruck in itself isn't too great of a perk. You can run it during raids if you're trying to use the Thunderspear strat in Shiganshina, but by itself, it's an okay perk. It's one of the more rare ones, and it's one of the more in-demand ones, but still in itself, I wouldn't run this by itself. I wouldn't run this if I had 2 or 3 spots. And then that leaves us with the mythical perks. There's 4 of them, and we'll start off with Basics Pro. Basics Pro gives you every single common, uncommon, and rare perk. This is probably the second best perk in the game, solely because it gives you so much health, so much gas, so much blades, so much damage, and it just gives you every single buff up to epic perks, and that's in itself broken. I would say that everybody that has squadron leaders should always run this perk because everybody now gets that those benefits. It even gives you Avenger for some reason, which ups your damage. For some reason might be useful, but Basics Pro is a very, very high tier perk. It's very, very good. Always run it if you have it, unless you're trying to farm. But it's good for missions and it's good for raid. It is an all-around perk. It is one of the best perks. Shokunin. Now we're on to Shokunin. Shokunin gives you 75% of whatever you are using to not be used. Essentially, if you're throwing a Thunder Spear, there's a 75% chance that Thunder Spear won't actually be thrown. It'll just throw the spear, and you won't lose one of the spears on your arms. Um, this is the best perk in the game, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. It is the absolute best perk in the game. If you get this perk, you should always be running it, no matter what. Even in waves, raid, missions, always run it. Because it gives you infinite swords, about 30 extra Thunder Spears, almost infinite AP bullets as long as you're refilling, and you will never run out of blades. You will always run out of gas first with this perk. It is by far and away the best perk, and I will always use it no matter what I'm doing, unless I'm trying to farm and I will use the family spins. But this is always, always the best perk in the game, in my opinion. Korakuda. Now we're on a Korakuda. Korakuda. And now we're on to Korakuda, I think is how you say it. It gives you a chance to gain a family spin every Titan kill on permission, 200 daily. It's the exact same as a Master, but you get 200 instead of 75. If you're farming, it's good. It's the best farming perk. That's about it. Nothing much to say about it. Use this perk if you're farming. That's about it. And finally, Squadron Leader. Your perks are shared with other players. This is the rarest perk in the game by far and away. It is the third best perk in my opinion, solely because you can't use it with yourself, you cannot solo, and therefore you cannot get the most rewards out of what you're doing possible by running this perk. It is literally useless if you're by yourself, but with a team, this is the best perk, obviously. When you're in a party and you are the party leader, this is the squadron leader, this is how it works. Every perk that you have underneath squadron leader is given to your entire squad. So if you have 3 perk slots, I would say run Squadron Leader, Shokunin, and Basics Pro. And then everybody in the lobby has Shokunin, everybody in the lobby, it's in your party at least, has Basics Pro. And it's the most broken perk in the game with a team, but by itself, it's nothing. It doesn't work. Which is why I don't think it's the best perk in the game. But it has its niche, and that's all it needs. And it's very, very rare. It's the rarest of the mythics. So if you get this, I would suggest if you don't have a team of friends or people that play this game a lot, I would run and try and trade this for something up for people that can, because this is also very valuable in the trade market. So if you were to get this, try and get some trades for it. That's my opinion. But that's the basis of the perks. Um, There's nothing much more to be said about the perks. There's nothing extra to really say in general, but I said what I want. The tier list is there if you'd like to check it out. Um, After every end, I hopefully I have a tier list because this would make no sense if I didn't have one because I ended up giving up trying to just place them there. So hopefully I'll be giving a little bit of a synopsis afterwards and in a separate commentary, I guess you could call it. But in any case, I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you'd like to see more of these kinds of videos, I would be glad to do one on the skills or on the equipment. Just ask. Just ask, and I will gladly respond to you, and I will gladly do whatever it is that you wish, except for delete my YouTube account. So thank you. Please like and subscribe if you really do enjoy this. It really shows me that you guys care and that you guys do like this. Comment, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace out.